I've used a ton of keyboards ever since I first owned a computer back in the early 2000s, but I have never used a small keyboard like the Epomaker TH40 until today. Well, technically 2 months ago. The TH40 is a compact keyboard with a 40% layout, 44 keys to be exact, and is also programmable through VIA. While I admittedly did not switch to it as my daily keyboard, I did use it as my main keyboard for typing. I can see the appeal of a compact keyboard as you can easily bring it with you from home to work and anything in between. That's the most obvious upside to it. The other main reason why this small keyboard exists is to improve typing speed. Your hands and fingers are positioned in a way that makes everything reachable with either of your hands, all the while making it more comfortable than a regular sized keyboard. And yes, both are true, but to a point. As far as comfort goes, my hands are more comfortable typing on the TH40 than my daily driver a la F75. Since the keys are positioned closer to each other, even by a millimeter, my hands do not move as much as they do on a 75% layout. Yes, I also felt like I was typing faster, but that didn't mean my accuracy was the same or better. I was typing fast, but there was more room for error simply because my mind knew that I now had 2 spacebars, not to mention the weird position of the function key right between the spacebars, which is the main culprit as I almost always accidentally hit it instead of the spacebars. Since we are on the layout topic, the TH40's keyboard functions differ from the rest by keeping functionalities to a minimum. If you noticed, you are missing arrow keys. Instead, you have an app key on the right side. For a writer like me, using this type of layout, I miss having my apostrophe. But hey, maybe you don't need apostrophes in your workflow. Maybe you're a coder. Then that's fine. Although you can remap the keys using VIA version 2, it's still different from having a dedicated key. On that note, we have 4 layers with this keyboard, 3 of which are customizable to the user. Of course, you get all the customizable features from a standard keyboard, including the RGB effects, battery indicator, and toggle between Mac and Windows modes. The number row by default is assigned to the first row from the top. At the very least, typing in numbers is a bit faster. You can still connect to the TH40 via a wired USB-C cable, 2.4 GHz dongle, or Bluetooth connection of up to 3 devices. As far as battery life goes, I'm getting 3 to 4 days of heavy use on the dongle. If you should know, the dongle in wired mode support a 1000 Hz polling rate, while Bluetooth mode goes up to 125 Hz. The TH40 comes in 2 colors, the black gold version we have here and the purple variant. Both of these can come with either the Epomaker Flamingo switch or the Wisteria linear switch. The Wisteria linear switch feels tactile with little resistance when pressed, making it great for typists. The sound you get isn't dampened, which isn't a bad thing per se. Here's how they sound. As usual, the TH40 is gasket mounted with PBT cherry profile keycaps and hot swappable 3 5-pin switches. The RGB lights are south facing, but the keycaps are opaque, so you would have to buy a separate keycap set if you want translucent ones. It has been a while since I've used an all-plastic keyboard since I've been testing aluminum keyboards for quite a while, and it's refreshing to go back from aluminum since it's lightweight, weighing approximately 500 grams. With plastic, you also get adjustable feet. On top of that, you have this strap for easy carry. The question that I have in mind is, who is it for? It's not for me since I've gotten used to bigger layouts. I may be a typist more than a gamer, but I know it's not for me because I'm not at the point where I'm willing to adjust my keyboard muscle memory for faster typing speed, not to mention the added effort of memorizing certain functions and key combinations. At $80 or around 4,600 Philippine peso when roughly converted, you have to be really specific with your use case with this keyboard. Initially, I thought this would fit my use case of writing with a tablet since I don't need all the functions and features of a regular sized keyboard. But after missing the arrow keys and the apostrophe, It's an adjustment I'm just not willing to make. However, I can see others buying this just because it's small, cute, and easy to carry, but take note, this will take some getting used to. Links are in the description below if you're interested. It's not officially available in the Philippines, but if you want to buy, including for the rest of the world, you can do so via their website. But that's it for this one. Drop a sub or like if you feel like supporting the channel, and as always, until the next one, stay safe.